Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another tutorial for IMVU. And in today's tutorial, it was a request from one of my subscribers, I think Steven. He wanted me to make a tutorial on how to make cloth from Marvelous Designer. And for those who don't really know what Marvelous Designer is, it's like the world-leading software to make cloth for games and Hollywood movies that use actually graphics on it. So in today's tutorial, I will teach you how we can take our IMVU avatar, take it to Marvelous Designer, design a clothing or a t-shirt, actually is what we're going to make today, and take this back to 3ds Max and scan that to the cloth of the avatar and take it back to IMVU. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is we have to get the waiting pose master that has the arm extended that way, like in T-pose. The first thing we need to do is go ahead and choose wireframe. Actually, edge face is what we need. Get a closer look here. Get rid of the glasses, and we also need to get rid of the hair. Any extras that we see here, we can just get rid of it. Now, what you want to do is select the top part, come here, make sure to delete the modifier, and while we're here, you go ahead and choose attach. Let's go ahead and choose also to a wireframe. You have to select the body parts, not the bones, but the body parts, because we just need the avatar as a mesh, and then we're going to export it to the OBJ file. So let's go ahead, while the attach is selected, go ahead and start to select all the mesh part and do the same thing here, and also the face. Now let's go ahead and first thing first, actually we don't need to do the head, so you're gonna go hit Control Z your keyboard to keep it separated. So let's go ahead here, click here, left click, and also take the modifier off as well as the morph modifier. Left click here, hold on Control and select the body, right click, unhide all. I should have actually said unhide hide selection. So what we need to hide selection. Left click and drag over all this and hit delete. Right click again and unhide all. So we only have now just the actual avatar with no motion applied. In case you see the avatar moves, it means that you haven't selected all the bones or deleted them. So you have to do this the same thing by selecting every part and deleting all the bones in it and modifiers. So now we have to do one more thing, is go ahead export our project. So let's go ahead and hit to go for the exporting. So left click here, export, and choose, I have my folder on a desktop. Let's go ahead and see where it is. IMVU files. Here, you're gonna go ahead and change this to OBJ file here. And let's call this IMVU underscore male avatar. Let's go ahead and save. And you didn't have to change anything at all, except here you may not have a ZBrush. For that, let's just go ahead. If you don't have it, if whatever software you have here, you can always choose ZBrush. And go ahead and export. It will give you that arrow. We'll just go ahead and do not bother me this again, and skip, and go ahead and done. So now what we need to do is to move to Marvelous Designer to import our avatar. So let's go ahead and do that. So first, once you open Marvelous Designer, I have I think the Marvelous Designer 6. If you don't really have the Marvelous Designer 6 or whatever, the same steps should really apply to all of the older version of Marvelous Designer. And once you open it, you should have something like, it's like an avatar. It's going to be something like that. And let me just show you that once it loads. So you're gonna have this avatar in the project. All you have to do is like right click and delete avatar. And you might have here like patterns, or you have to do like left click over all of them and hit delete to have a clear scene. Let's go ahead and now go to File, Import OBJ file. Let's go ahead and choose your folder, IMVU, and import the avatar. Anything here you don't really want to change, so let's keep this also in the default. Nothing else you need to change. Go ahead and hit OK. Once that open, you're gonna have this kind of white avatar, but that's fine. You left click here, and once that's selected, you're gonna go for the diffuse map and go ahead and choose your let's see, where's the desktop, and choose the IMVU file. Let's go ahead and load up the avatar body template from here and choose this. Notice that if it's still white like that, the reason why is because the ambient color is set to white. So left click here once and set this to black, and do the same thing with the head. Choose the diffuse map, load up the head, do the ambient color also to black. So here is your 3 window that shows the cloth and how they're gonna behave, and here is the 2D pattern. That's where you're gonna draw the pattern of your clothes. To zoom in or out with your mouse, with the wheel of your mouse, just zoom in and out. Hold down left click, that's gonna be selection, and then the right click is to scale up and down, and then press the wheel mouse to move and pan the view here as well as here. Right click and rotate for the changing the view. Left click is not going to do anything here on the 3D windows. So let's go ahead and now let's go and do like a simple shirt. The first thing you need to do is go ahead and choose that polygon. You can use that shortcut H. Go ahead and try that. So let's go ahead and left click here. Do like one side here. Drag down. Hold on Shift to make a straight line. So let's go ahead. Let's zoom out a little bit. The good about Marvelous Designer, let's example, if you can't really reach the end of the viewport, you can just zoom out and then move your cursor to the point where you want it to actually zoom in and keep scrolling in. Notice what happened. It just changed the view by itself. You don't need to control that. So while you do the first point and the second, hold on Shift and drag to about half of the belly, and then go ahead and just do another one by holding Shift. Keep doing this. Left click, left click. It's just draw points, and that's going to be your shirt. And okay. Notice here, once that completed, it will show you the cloth part in the 3D window. And from here, you left click once, and it shows you these gizmo to move it around. In case you don't see it, all you have to do is to go to here to Preferences and Gizmo and choose Local Coordinates. It might be set for the world coordinates, but you can always use the local coordinates. Now, we have done half of the shirt. How can we do the other half? It's very simple here. To go to the Edit pattern, left click on that edge where you want the entire thing here to copy to the other side, right click and hit Unfold. So now you have an actual, shirt here. And the good about Marvelous Designer, it works as just simply like real clothing and putting patterns together. So what you need to do now is to take this little vertices here, left click it and hit backspace. And do the same thing here and hit backspace. So for the color, I might have to get from that, Edit Cavalier, and take this down a little bit just to give like an actual shirt. And while we're here, use the let me see here what it is. It's transform pattern. Again, the shortcut is on that parentheses. So left click, right click, copy, right click again and hit paste. Make sure to do this step is very important, to copy it in the top of the other one. The reason why here in the viewport, if you copy this to the other side here, it will be moved to this. But just the first time you need to do it, like in the top of the other one, and here from that blue axis, take it back. Now you have two parts of that shirt. But notice here, this is set to be white, and this face is white, but this is black. Whatever is set to be white is what gonna show as normal. You can't really sew the two parts like that. So you go ahead and right click and choose flip horizontally. Now we have two white side. That's what we need. And then here, what you need to do is select this and also move it to the side. Hold on shift again. Keep it straight line. Right exactly here. Okay. So now what we need to do left before we hit that simulate button, we have to actually sew these two parts together to make the shirt. So notice that these two parts are going to go together and the far parts will go together. So let's go ahead and start to sew segments and select here this one. Hold on shift 1 and 2, then go ahead and do this. Keep holding the shift while you're selecting. If you go here, okay, let me see what happened. Okay, let me see. Let me go back. Hold on shift 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay, I'll tell you why. If you see this, how in each segment it has like the upper and lower part to sew. If you choose the white part, make sure you set this to white here to the top part too. Like here top, and so on. So let's go ahead and try that again. Hold on shift, shift, and then keep holding the shift. And it should be okay, still not working properly. Okay, so what we can do, we can just try this one by one. So keep one here. Okay. If you get a straight line, that's exactly what you want. So let's go ahead and choose from the end of the shirt here and do the same thing here. A little more. That actually take a lot more practice. And let me show you in case you got something wrong. Let's see, like here I have the top part is going to be sewed. Let's say I choose the bottom part. And if you look on the other side, see how these two flipped? Like then it's not a straight line. All you have to do is you go ahead here and choose edit sewing, and then here right click and reverse. So you can also use that shortcut as well. And if you want to get rid of that, you're gonna go ahead right click and delete. But we're not gonna do that because we got it right. So let's go ahead and keep doing the rest of the shirt. And this one here will go with that. And here as well. And last is this. Now notice all the shirts parts has been colored with sewing patterns and everything looks just about fine. So now what you have to do is hit simulate. Notice as you first begin, you will see some holes in it and gaps. The good about this software, you can modify everything within the 3D viewport. So here, all I have to do is like pull, lift, click, and drag to pull the shirt off the body. If it's not enough, which is I'm sure it's not. Okay, there might be a way to fix that so many ways. First thing first, go ahead and select that selection pattern. Lift click and drag over the entire pattern here. And when you see particle distance, it's gonna be set to 20. Let's go ahead and take this down to 15. And let's go ahead and resimulate that. So it fixed almost 90% of the gaps that we saw in the first place. Let's go ahead and pull the shirt down a little bit. I might actually need to edit that too. Let's go ahead and choose that curve and take it down a little more. And let's just take this up. Again, we still have gaps if you get a closer look here and here, but you don't want to exceed the number that below 10, especially if you have a lower, like a slower computer, do not go down than 10. I can go up to 5, and I can show you that, and it still be okay, but notice how it become very slower now. And then it'll be so hard to do when you take it back to 3ds Max. So let's go back to 15. And it seemed like I missed one single part here. Let's go back into sew patterns. Yes, I did here. And I forgot to sew it with this one, so let's go ahead and simulate that again. In case you want to see everything clear again and get your pattern arranged, select this Reset 3D Garment. And here, okay, I got to move this a little bit again. So let's go ahead and pull this in closer. And let's go ahead and move it up. That looks just about okay. And then move the front one to kind of match up with the shirt. Let's go ahead and simulate that again. We shouldn't have problems, like much problems now, but still. Now, what you may want to add is some of creases on the shirts. You can lift, click, and drag just to have like a wrinkles over the shirt, and just to make it a little bit of like not a straight shirt. And to fix the problem with the way that sometimes you still have gaps, all you have to do here is left click the avatar itself, move to the scene tab, and if you go down here where it says like it's going to be male avatar, it's what you need to select it, and then here where it says skin offset, you can take this even further more as you notice the shirt moving away from the skin, or take it down. For IMVU's sake, you might want to have this at 2, and then make this set to be 100, which is 1 which is equal 100. Same thing here. And last thing, if you still see gaps like that, you may want to go up here, add from the fabric panel, add a new fabric, and if you go down here which says physical properties in the presets, set this to something like leather. That is 1, and then once you go down here, you can change the thickness of the cloth. So for today, I might have wanted to do this like 0. Actually 1 will probably do job. And once you have to do a lift click here, take lift click and drag and release it on the actual pattern. You notice it buff up a little bit with the cloth. So let's go ahead and reset our simulation again and redo that. So we still have a little bit of gaps here and there, but we can fix that by dragging and pulling the shirts away from the body. You can even go a lot more with the thickness. Like, let me see here. If I left click and drag over this, I should have the thickness here. Over here, let's go ahead and make this 3, and this as well as 3. And let's go ahead and reset. Resimulate. Now all of them is just get like a few of them still not really working, but we can easily fix that. Again, lift click and drag over these portion of the shirts will fix it. Do not really take like too much of pulling in, because that will waste your time and you have to fix the entire shirt again. Just a little bit off and then release it. And it's just a way that polygon has been worked on the body. Just keep trying to fix it here. Okay, still a couple here more. Again, to move around, hold down your right click. Move is the mouse wheel. Press it. Let's try more. We got one here. Okay, got it fixed. And then here. Looks good. Okay, we still can fix that in 3ds Max, so it's not gonna be a problem at all. Now, to export the shirt, but before we do, let's in case you wanted to add a texture to this. All you have to do is you go ahead and add maybe, let's see first. If you can, here we see edit texture, and that's what you need to do. And here you will choose texture you actually wanted to add. For this, I might want to add, let's see, might this one work? And it should now working. Okay, I did select it. Okay, here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's see if I selected this one here and I selected the pattern for the texture, and let's see. It should work now. It's just weird. Okay, so go ahead and select texture, select the pattern, or you can select the fabric where you apply it to, and when it comes to texture, you select that box here, and now we can choose the fabric, and notice here it's already added all the texture to us on the shirt. To edit the texture, all you have to do is you select edit texture, and here you can move them around. Let's see. There should be somewhere here where you can scale this down. That's for rotation. If you want to rotate it around. Okay. And I'm sure this is for the scaling. Notice these axes here. That helps you a lot more with the texture. And if you take a look, if you closely look here, we can just rotate this a little bit like it's a normal shirt. And that will probably do. And we can just go ahead and scale this down a little bit. There's actually a seamless texture, so you're not gonna see like an actual pattern being repeated. And it goes on both sides as well. Okay, let's just fix that one more time. Oops. Okay, in case that happened, you click Control Z to undo, and always keep in mind that it has to be simulated. It's turned on, that way keeps the the shirt in its place. So now everything looks just fine. All I have to do now is to take that shirt back to IMVU, and first actually take it to 3ds Max to export it, and then take it to IMVU. But first thing you have to do is to go ahead, File, Export OPJ, and here we're going to export our shirt. So let's go ahead and call this Male MD for Marvel's Designer shirt, and hit save. Here, this is really important while exporting. You have to keep all the patterns selected, so check. The avatar, you have to deselect that one. Deselect select all graphics, and keep this as a single object. You don't want to have multiple objects. And again, keep this set to weld, meaning that the front and back of the shirt will be welded together. Thin is what the thickness of the shirt. You don't want it to be thick. And keep unified UV coordinates as well. If you have texture like what we have here, you're gonna have to keep this to be saved with texture, but notice it's a zip file. It will combine all the texture on your shirt to a zip file. So what you exported, you have to go in and extract the zip file to have texture, and you will have also the mesh. And last thing is to diffuse color combine on texture. So also keep that on, and it's gonna be the default here. Go ahead and hit OK. Now we're gonna go back to 3ds Max, but before we do, we have to reset our scene. So let's go ahead and choose the same file again. Make sure you do not save on the existing file. So again, select no. Let's go ahead and OK again. Now you go ahead and left click and import. And we're going to choose our desktop, which is here, and IMVU file. And here is the folder. But no, remember we said this is a zip file that we have to extract. So let's go and select all. And here, the MD folder file, right click and hit extract. And yes, here's the texture. We have the texture and the I think that was probably the occlusion or the glossiness of the shirt. Anyway, so here is the file with the male MD shirt OBJ. Let's go ahead and save it, and then while we're here, gonna go ahead and import. It should come exactly on the top of the shirt, but if it didn't, okay, let's just go back. There's something wrong happened during the export. Let's go back and see what we did. Export OPJ file, and yes, that's what we want. Okay. It's kind of weird. Probably in actually, let's see here. That should not really happen with you guys because I played with the unit setup last time. This is the metrics. Let's see. Millimeters. Okay, that's what I suppose. You can always check that if you want to, but you have to keep this in millimeters. Let's go ahead and try to import our shirt again. And this time it should be placed exactly. It's still way too small. Let's go back in again and see. Unit setup and centimeters. Let's try that. It's something that I changed yesterday when I was working on it. Changed the shirt units. Let's see again. Okay, meters. Let's try meters. Yeah, it's still small, so the only thing that you might want to do here, let's try again and see the preferences as well here. Settings, user settings. You don't really have to do this. It just I played around yesterday with something that I don't remember what it is, but it has to do with the units. Okay, let's see. Let me export again and see what we did wrong here. Okay. So for this, let me see here. Let's set the scale to 100. There's no problem actually from Marvelous Designer. It has to do with 3ds Max. So let's just go for one last try. Go and try that and see if it's gonna work. But if it didn't, we can just scale everything else. Object scale, maybe this one is supposed to be a 1. Let's try. Okay, so it has to be 1. So in case that happens, you go ahead on preferences. Sorry, not. It's gonna be customized unit setup, and this should be right. Oh, when you import it. So yeah. So the shirt exactly come in the right place. What we need to do now is to select the actual physique modifier, and notice that the shirt is not coming all the way down up to the belly, but that's really good. So to do that, you have to do this one thing here, is select, while the body part is selected, go ahead and choose save, and while you're here, let's go ahead and call this top underscore physique. Okay, it's going to be male avatar. Now it's an very easy way to actually skin your shirt without actually the pain of working in each vertices and fixing that. So while we'll just select it, now you're going to go ahead and select the shirt, add Physique Modifier, and go ahead for the attach to nodes, go to the wireframe, and a little more here, and choose the actual pelvis node. It will ask you to get everything is just initialized. Try to work it this way. If you play the timeline, everything is not yet moving. The reason why, because it has physique on it. So while the shirt is still selected, go ahead and load or open the physique folder and choose the top physique male avatar. Everything should be working. Okay, what if you don't hit any? Let's go and undo that. Now it's going to move. Okay, here, let's go and redo that again. You have to manually look inside here and match each one of these together and take the ones that you don't see here. If you see any extras, deselect them. So let's go and select everything, and let's go ahead and go up. Everything here looks exactly the same. What I like to do is I push the biggest name on the top so I can see. So we have all this, let's see, all this the same, a little more, pelvis node. Okay, spine one, everything looks identical. I'm sure it's gonna be like one or two that we do miss. So spine spine here, it works. What we have here spine 3. Deselect that by holding Alt and Control and click. Let's go ahead and pull this up a little bit. Everything else here kind of work the same. Let's go ahead and choose. Okay, we don't have this here. This one here sees different. Left click and hold on Alt and Control and left click. Let's pull this up again. Nothing here is different. Oops. Oh my god, I have to do this again. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause the video and I will do a quick thing and I'll come back to you as soon as I'm done. Okay, so what I have deselected here, let's just go back up and show you guys. From the very top, there's nothing really doesn't match here unless if you go ahead here, so scroll down just to show you where this is. You will see that here it is start with spine 4, which is spine 4 here, but this is extra. We deselected this. Again, hold on Control and Alt and left click and deselect the one that you see extra. And here's the rest. If you go down here and it's right below the elbow, it means he can left hand, and here it is. This is an extra. So again, deselect all this. This one here again is another one, right on top of the left hand. And again, left hand. And again here. So what you need to do is you select, you match these here with that one. If any extras here, make sure to deselect them. And once everything is working out for you, all you have to do is hit OK. And now if you go ahead and move the timeline, notice what happened. The magic. You don't have to go through each vertices and try to see how much weight do they actually work. In case you see some of these gaps here, there's a few ways that we can fix that. The first one is on the top of the polygon here, we can go ahead and add something called shell modifier that will give us a thickness to the shirt. And to fix that, all you have to do is make sure the outer amount will be set to 1 by default. You can change this a little bit if you want to. You notice here, if you get a closer look at this, if you increase the amount of the thickness here, notice what happened. takes away that kind of gap, which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and try with the same setting. Let's go ahead and Physique Modifier, keep it open, and everything should look like cool. Okay, let's go ahead and try now to export it. So while Physique is selected, select the shirt to make sure to select the shirt is selected. Change to Edit Edge Faces, and here's the shirt. Go ahead and export it in the folder, and then here we can call this MD. I think I have it here. Yeah, here. Okay, I call it MD IMVU shirt, and choose mesh. Remember that to choose mesh from the menu here. And let's go ahead and save. It will ask you that existed. You shouldn't have that. And then here you're gonna have to choose. Let's see, IMVU, and you're gonna go ahead into the folder and choose the skeleton. Okay, once it finished, continue, and now move back to IMVU. I actually did a few tries before I started. So to do that, let's go ahead and close out of this for a second. You will have the creator, and then go ahead and drive from a new product. And let's go ahead and choose gonna be editable. No, it's gonna be edit empty drivable. And then we're gonna go ahead and choose male cloth. And from here, you're gonna go to add. Let's go ahead and let's give like 12 or 12. I think 12 should be good. Add, and we're gonna choose the MD. And now if you look at it, it still has the thickness of the shirts, but some of these parts are still showing, which is not good. Let's go first and add. Let me remind you of something here. If you upload the texture from Marvelous Designer, sometimes the texture would be way too big, so you can always keep in mind that to understand if the texture is too big, you have to resize them. But now it's 315, it's just fine. Okay, so that looks just about good. Let's go ahead and add a look. Let's see if I have here. Oh, I forgot to take off this. Which one? I think this jacket. Okay, so even though I have scale, it still look okay. There's gaps, a few gaps here and there. So to fix that, we go back to move to 3ds Max and select the actual body part, which is the top, and then go into editable poly inside here. Everything that has within the shirt, under that shirt, you don't need it. So let's go ahead and see from the belly here. I might have to go up a little bit and select up to about here. Okay, and then hold down from the shoulder, especially where the joints of that arm and shoulder is. You have to take it off. Let's go ahead and deselect this one here. Okay, do the same thing here. Again, if in case you don't really see what you're doing, you can always deselect this for a second. Left click, right click, hit hide selection, and come back to this and move back to editable poly. Everything will be selected and shown up for you. But I use this shirt as a reference. That's why I keep it on all the time. And okay, I may want to go take off a little bit from my selection here as well as here, because I don't still want anything to show within my shirt. And then also I need to deselect parts from the neck. So as long as that polygon is not highlighted in red, it means you're not gonna get delete them. So let's go ahead and hit delete. And let's see what we have done here. If you right click and hide again, see now it's become empty. And that's fine because we can come back in and just make sure to have a little bit of a clear. And okay, that looks good. And if I go ahead from the side, these extras here, get rid of it. Okay, now if you go and pretty much I think that's all good so far. We have just a few here that we need to get delete. This one, that one. Okay, now while the highlight even is gonna look stupid and it's like you'll be like, what did I just do? All you have to do now is select one part, which is going to be selected the entire physique. Then go ahead and export it, and you will call this modified, which is I also have it here, and call this modified top, and I save. Everything should look the same. Okay. If you move back to here, get the configuration, replace the second number 2 with what's going to be the top. You will notice the top has disappeared. Let's go ahead and add. Let's go ahead to 13 and add our modified top. And if you apply, now look here, we don't see any gaps at all in the shirt because we highlighted, we deleted the parts that inside the shirt. If I showed you a closer look at here, you'll notice the arm, but there's no actual body inside here, which is what we need. So yeah, here it is, and I hope this guys was very helpful. We learned a few techniques about taking or deleting some of the polygons to kind of make our shirt look just fine. And this is the first tutorial also on how to make shirts and clothes in Marvelous Designer. I hope this, Steven, was a very full tutorial. We still have a lot more to come. Make sure to leave comments and like the video and favorite. And also, before we leave, in case you want to see when or get notified when I release a new video, all you have to do is to come to my channel, and it'll be something like that. And all you have to do is to hit that ring. That every time I release a new video, it will tell you that I release it, on that time. So yeah, I hope this was very helpful, and I'll see you guys on my next tutorial.